What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr Wargames and I'm bringing to you guys an update to my hero deck. I'm also going to call this Gumbler Hero just because I focused this deck around the Gumbler combo, which lets you rip 4 cards out your opponent's hand from just using your turn and the start of your opponent's turn, while also banishing 2 cards from them as well. You're also locking down their surge potential thanks to the Dark Law, and overall it's just a very fun and very powerful deck that you can take to your locals and do very well with it. It has all the generic plays that heroes can do naturally, while also adding in the potential of Gumbler to help you control the game board better and stronger. Just more than you can do before with just Dark Law. We did get an additional support in the terms of extra hero Wonder Driver, which is a nice addition to the deck that helps your mass change plays as well. But overall, I'll be honest, the legendary hero decks didn't really give much to the hero deck in terms of this build. I mean, I guess you could also play Phantom Knights and Frosty Brigade from the Phantom Knights if you wanted to, and maybe add some Phantom Knights. You could probably make like a hero Phantom Knight deck as well, which might come to the channel in the future. If you do want to see a deck like that, comment down in the comments below, and we'll try and bring that deck to you as soon as we can. But that's done. Let's get into this profile. It's a very cool deck and a very fun deck as well. So first off, the obvious, free from the ban list, Stratos. Stratos such as any hero, but that, and add it to your hand essentially, and it's just literally it. You can also pop cards, but you mostly just use them for the rotor. Moving on, for you have him, we have Solid Soldier. Goblinberg for the deck, summons a hero from your hand. We also have Violon to dump any hero from our deck. I'll also searching Polymerization, which is we do actually play in the deck as discard fodder as well, but also the added fusion plays as well. And next we have 3 copies of the obvious Shadow Mist, one of the best cards in the deck. Searches your mass change when it's special summoned, and can also add a hero to your hand when it's sent to graveyard. Then we play 3 copies of Malicious, the best hero in the deck, and probably the best hero of all in the archetype. We do play 1 Bubble Man, just as like an water option for our fusion plays, but also the 3 summon as well can come in handy. We do play the 1 Honest Neos. This is the main target we search off our Isolde on Link Summon, just because if it does get to stay in our hand after we gumblered our opponent, we can have give our Dark Law a 2/5 attack gain. I do play 2 level 1 targets in the forms of Disc Commander and Destiny Hero Dreamer. I just like these targets overall for the heroes. I have made this deck a bit more D hero focused just because I am more of a D hero fan than an E hero fan. So that's why the Dreamer's in here, as well as the Disc Commander. They're just like nice level 1 targets I can make. I can summon off my Isolde if I have to. I'm also playing 1 copy of To Round Up the Monsters Destiny Hero Drill Dark. And for those odd chances that if we have bricked with a Malicious in our hand, we can just summon Drill Dark and then use his effect to summon Malicious and then link into our Isolde and then just continue and start with our plays that way. It just helps with those situations if they do come up. Otherwise, it's just a nice warrior to have in the deck and another dark target for our Lure of Darkness, which we'll now get to with the spells. First off, 1 Reinforcements of the Army and 3 copies of the Emergency Call. They essentially all do the same thing as deck. Add a hero from deck to hand. We do play 1 copy of A Hero Lives, just because it did get limited to help get Stratos back. 2 copies of Allure of Darkness. We have a lot of dark targets in this deck because I have again focused on the D hero part. So Allure of Darkness helps there. I'm taking 1 copy of Sky Striker Hornet in Hornet Drones. It's just another way to get another warrior on the field. to make our resolve. So that's why it's in here. You cannot take this out if you want to and put in something else. Maybe another equip spell so you don't brick so much with the equips. 3 copies of Mask Change because we want to make Dark Claw and lock our opponent from cards and banish them. I do take in 1 Miracle Fusion. It's just another way to not only get a big beat stick on the field to help you with your damage potential, but also trigger Gumbler as well. The 1 copy of Polymerization to search off the Vylon. 1 copy of Monster Reborn just to revive stuff. 4 equips in the forms of Moon Mirror Shield for protection, Sword Deep Seated, because if you open with this card, you can equip it to a monster, link away with it, and then Sword Deep Seated shuffles itself back into the deck. 1 copy, as well as Moon Mirror Shield does that as well. 1 copy of Overdone Barrel. You can add in Living Fossil in here as well if you want to over this. This is just another way to unbrick with Malicious. And then the obvious Divine Sword Phoenix Blade. And to run up the spells, I do play 2 copies of Called by the Grave. I only play 2 traps in this deck in the form of Eradicate, Epidemic Virus, and Necro Fusion. So these are just texts that I'm personally playing for my build and take on the deck. That help do what the deck's meant to do, which is lock out your opponent from options, just in general. I want to limit as many options that my opponent can do as much as I can. Because yeah, ripping 4 out your opponent's hand is very, very powerful. And I think if my math is right on the top of my head, they're probably left with like 3 cards to play with. Eradicator can just eliminate even more options that the opponent can do, because once you've Gumblered them twice, Gumbler is just sitting there doing basically nothing. It's just a 3k beat stick. You can attribute Gumbler, because as far as I know he is a dark, and that he is. You can then just tribute Gumbler off of Eradicator, and then declare spells or traps. Most of the times, in fact all the times, you'll declare spells unless you know they're a trap heavy deck. And then you can look at the opponent's hand and then just rip all the spells out from their control for 3 turns. And Necro Fusion is just another way to do another fusion summon in the deck, while also triggering Gumbler. If you haven't managed to do the Dark Claw, but you've opened Necro Fusion, you can just set this and fusion on your opponent's turn. Which is a very nice card. You could also take, if you don't want to play that, if it feels a bit too slow for you, you can take that card out for something like Super Poly, which is a very nice card in the deck as well. So yeah, that's the main deck. Let's move on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, we do play the 1 Sky Striker token, which is very nice. 2 copies of let's move starting with the Master Heroes. 2 copies of Dark Claw is the one you're going to be summoning the most. 1 copy of Acid because it's an option for you to use. 1 copy of Diane. I would highly recommend Diane just because it's an option for your Solid Soldier, and then you can get Solid Soldier's effect off. It also adds consistency as well by special summoning from the deck. 1 copy of Divine Wind, just because with Shadows back we can now actually use the wind ones very easily. And I do play 2 fusion monsters in like terms of like actual using a fusion spell in the forms of Absolute Zero and Adoration. Adoration just takes 2 hero monsters, so it's very nice and easy to go into. And Absolute Zero, we only have 1 water target in the forms of Bubble Man, but he's highly searchable in the deck. And if the time comes up, we can just use Absolute Zero to wipe out your opponent. If you don't want to play Absolute Zero, you can just add in another Xyz. I've just got 2 in the forms of Abyss Dweller to lock out the graveyard and Exalton Knight just to wipe out those boards. And the rest are Link monsters. I do play 2 Sky Striker targets in the forms of Kagari and Hayate. Kagari is the first one you obviously go into with the Hornet Drones, because you go Hornet Drones, Kagari gets back Hornet Drones again, and then you make something else. But I do like the ability to just go Hornet Drones to Kagari, get back the Hornet Drones, keep the Hornet Drones in hand for Gumbler later on, then just link Kagari into Hayate, because then Hayate points downwards for you, so you're not giving something to your opponent. The new hero, the new card in the extra deck is Extra Hero Wonder Driver. And what it does is it takes 2 hero monsters. If a hero monster's normal special summon to your zone this card points to, target 1 polymerization spell, fusion spell, or change quick play in your graveyard, set that target. You can only activate this effect of Wonder Driver once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard, or if this card in your possession is destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can special summon 1 hero monster from your hand. 1900 attack points as well. This is very strong in terms of a link to, and just adds recovery plays for your hero lineup. The obvious is old because it's old. Deco Talker is just a generic link for your choice I always pick. And the Gumbler Dragon, the big boss of the extra deck. The one that we always try to go into to, lock the event. But that, guys, is the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, leave a comments down below. What would you play? How would you play this deck? I know not everyone's going to be a fan of my D-hero choices, but it's a style that I like to play with in terms of heroes. So, as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. And again, until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.
What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button. And of course, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up for you all year round. So don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.